Today, I wanted to talk about the top 3 mistakes that I made in my business when I wanted to grow my online fitness business before. So in 2014-ish, probably earlier than that, I always dabbled trying to get my company online, and I would probably say I didn't go full commitment. But looking back upon it now, there's 3 really key mistakes that I made that could have made that easier for me. And so I am going to share them with you. Some of these we've talked about, but we're going to review them because they're super, super important. Number 1, getting really, really clear about your ideal client. So when you're doing your marketing plan for online business, and probably any sort of marketing plan, you want to have who you're selling to at the very top of it. You want to know who they are, you want to know their problems, you want to know how your product is going to solve their problems, you want to know their emotions, you want to know what time they wake up in the morning, you want to know what they do during the day, where they shop, where they hang out online, what Instagram things they stalk, like what excites them, what makes them sad, what motivates them, and why they want to solve their problem. You have to know their why when it comes to solving their problem. In the fitness world, if you're a nutrition coach or a fitness coach, you're solving people's problems. You're giving them a solution for them to solve the problem that they have. And if you can understand their why they want to achieve it, and how they're going to feel once they achieve it, that is the most important thing that you can spend time working on and getting to know, and just getting really in tune with your ideal client and the problems they have and the emotions around it. It's all based on emotions. Okay. Number 2, which builds off number 1, is being consistent with my messaging. And so marketing is always a funnel. You have a client come in at the top and you kind of work their way down. And so if you bring a client in, you're attracting your ideal client, but then you're scooting them here and over there, and they want to sign up for this, and I solve that problem, and I solve this problem. It's really confusing. And when you start to confuse someone, they're going to be like, I don't know, and they're going to say no. A good example of this is Calgary's bid for the Olympics. It was confusing to the public, and they said no. That's my opinion on it. I don't know if that's exactly what happened. But if you confuse people with your messaging, you're going to lose them. You're not going to appear or portray that you can solve their problems. So be really clear with your messaging on your webpage. Be clear with what you say on your social media. Be clear with your programs, your opt-in. Be clear and consistent with your messaging on all those things, and then commit to it and stick with it. Which brings me to my 3rd point, which is I didn't have a plan. And so I didn't have a plan of my ideal client at the top going down, working their way eventually to the sale. Because that's what happens. You bring them in the top and you work them down with consistent messaging all the way down to the sale. And I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan of who my ideal client was, or the program that I wanted to sell, and the messaging in between, and when all that worked. Because you don't want to promote all the time. It's not promotion, promotion, promotion. It's you bring them in, you nurture them down, and then eventually you bring them the problem. After you have taught them, or that they've learned, or that they now like you and trust you to buy the product. It's not you meet them, you buy the product, which is kind of how I always worked. I was like, hey, I'm a trainer, I'll solve your problems, hire me. It's not like that. In my upcoming web bootcamp, I talk about how it's very similar to dating. It's not like when you meet somebody, it's like, hey, want to go out with me? Like, sometimes that works if the package is right, and that could be the same online, but normally it's like, hey, can I have your number? There's texting back and forth, and then eventually you will go out with them. And so there's like that nurture phase before a big commitment, and that is the same with your marketing. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that is helpful for you to grow on your business, either online or in person. And so number 1, make sure that you have an ideal client and you're super, super in tune with them. Number 2, be consistent with your messaging, whether it is on Facebook, your webpage, your emails, any type of social media. When you're talking, just make sure that it's all the same and you're always helping the same person with the same products, and be consistent with it. And number 3, have a plan. So have a plan of when you're going to promote people coming in, when you plan of when you're going to sell and what that's going to look like. Ideas are great and so are notebooks. So just write it all down, stick with your plan and see if it works. If you're consistent with it enough and you don't get results, go back, see what works, change what doesn't, and then try it again. But it has to be measured and it has to be systematic. It has to be smart. Get a smart plan. All right, so that is all today. You have to bear with me on this stuff. I'm checking on, I can't see my Facebook page here. I don't think anyone has any questions because I think there's only one person watching, which is fine. I will perform for an audience of 1. But anyways, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching my video. My name is Lauren. I am with Sweats in the City, and my goal is to have fitness trainers make a living, live a life that is best for them while making money doing something they love and they're passionate about. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you another day.